Hi all, and welcome back to Guide to SolidWorks. So today I am going to carry on with the BB8 tutorial, and I'm going to look at finishing that off. So what we're going to do is produce the head to BB8 today, and we're going to progress on from the head to a fully assembled BB8 by the end of this tutorial. I'm not going to go through everything step by step because a lot of the techniques that we've used are exactly the same as what we use for the body. So I'm going to show you how we get started, and then I will cut in and out throughout the modeling of it, and then take you through the whole assembly process. Okay, so let's get started. If you're new to the channel, just I want to let you know, please have a look at subscribing. It all supports the channel. If you are a regular, please give us a big thumbs up if you're liking the content, and we'll continue on as we go. So let's have a go. Right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the front plane, and I'm going to get half of the shape of the head. So I'm going to do that by, first of all, putting in a center line, going straight up, and the distance of that center line is 50 mil high. And I'm also going to draw a line coming out here. Now, the whole diameter of the bottom of BB8's head is 75 wide. So I'm going to click the endpoint there in this line. And if I go to the outside of the construction line, I can get the full diameter. If I stay inside here with that center line, it'll give me the width of just that half. If I want to get the full diameter, just go past the halfway. Click there, and I'm going to put 75 in there, like so. Okay. Now, what I also have here is a section that is going to come straight up. So just drawing a line straight up there. And then this is going to curve around here. So I'm going to use is a 3-point arc. I'm going to go from each end and connect to there like so. Okay. Now, this point here is just hovering. So I'm going to connect that point to the center line. Coincidence, like so. And give that a diameter of 50. In fact, no, I'm not going to give that a diameter. If I change that to 50, it's going to come up too big. So what I'm going to do, delete that, is I'm going to make that and that point there horizontal, and that'll give me the shape. So I've got my center, my diameter, I've got it horizontal to here, and I've got that distance around like so. Right, okay, so once we've got that, I have got that profile. I'm going to revolve that around my center line. So features, revolve, and I'll get that basic head shape from that resolve, like so. Okay, now that gives me my basic shape. I'm just going to view that from the front. Once I've got this basic shape, what I also need to do is set up some planes. So I'm going to set up my planes from my current ones here. So first one I'm going to set up is a top plane that is above the profile here. So I'm going to click there, hold Control on the corner of my plane and drag up. Give it a second, and it should appear. Now I want to go 50 mil up to the height at the top of there. So I'll create that plane. I also want to create a plane on the side, offset. So I'm going to go to the right there, click on there, hold Control, drag it out, and I'll get a plane there. And that is going to be half of 75. So I can either work it out at 37.5, or I can literally write 75 divided by 2 gives me 37.5. Like so. Now, once I've got them two planes in, they're going to help me to create effectively my embosses onto this shape. Again, this is a dome or half a sphere, so I'm going to have to use the solids tutorial that we used on the last one. Sorry, the surface process that we used in the last one. So I'll have to create a surface over the top of here and then sketch into these. So let's create a surface. So using the sketch from my Revolve, I'm going to create a surface on my front plane. So let's pick my front plane, sketch on there. Using the sketch from there, I'm going to convert entities, and that will give me that shape. I'm going to delete the bits I don't want, which is that, and this line going up, I'm going to turn this construction line. Then this here, I'm going to revolve around the outside of here, but in surfaces. So revolve that around that line in surfaces, tick there like so, and that gives me effectively a cover on top of this. So if I hide my solid revolve, I have now got that surface there like so. Okay. Now, same way as we did last time, I'm going to create a profile on top and on the sides. I'm going to start split lining that into the surface. So whatever I draw, I'll split line onto the surface, and then I will thicken cut to that. So I'll take you through one profile just in case you didn't see the last time. So I'll take you through one process, and then from that one process, I will then jump ahead. So I'm just going to create a profile for the top of here. So sketching on plane 1, sketch, view from the top, like so. And I'm going to create a circle here, and I'm going to create that at 45 out. Let me double check that size. Yeah, 45 out. So from there then, I'm also going to create a circle inside that, and that circle is going to be 30. Now again, I'm working from a toy here, so the sizes are from actually my son's toy, so they're going to be a bit discrete. They're not going to be the actual things we've got here. They're not going to be the actual size of the actual model, but you could scale this up to be the right size. This is a scaled down model of the actual BB8 you would see on the film. So I've got that, the two circles. I'm going to create little sections into this. So let's start off with a line, center line in here. Then I'm going to draw straight up. Now, in fact, I'll turn that into a normal line. It doesn't need to be construction. And that I am going to revolve. I'm going to pattern that around. Circular pattern that line around, and I want 16 of them. So I'm going to pattern that equal spacing till I get to 16. Like so. Okay. Now, once I've got to 16, I'm going to go tick that. Now, I actually only want one of these sections. The reason I've created them all is so I know that I've got it in equally the right space. So I'm just going to go around and I'm going to delete all of the ones that I actually don't require. Like this, like that. And one more in there. and delete them. Okay, so that just gives me that one profile there. I'm going to trim some aspects of this away. Don't need that, don't need that. And then from there, I am going to offset bits of this. So I'm going to offset 0.5, this circle, and this circle to the inside, like so. This circle offset to the inside, giving me that shape. Okay, so trim away the bits I don't need. That, and get rid of that outside circle and that outside circle, like so. Okay, so that gives me one section. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to make a pattern of that one section and the inside of there again. So a circular pattern, that shape, and this time I am going to create 15 of them patterns. Tick there, and that gives me that top shape there, like so. Now what I'm going to do is split line that down into the top of here. So going to my surfaces, I'm going to go to come out of the sketch, go to curves, split line, and I'm going to split line that sketch down into that surface, like so. Projection down, no, not silhouette, not intersection, a projection onto that surface, and you'll get the shape or the pattern onto that top surface there, like so. Okay, now I'm going to delete the bits that I don't want away, so I'm going to go to delete faces and surfaces there, and I'm just going to click on everything I don't want. I just want that outer profile of these, effectively the 0.5 milli gap. Don't need that at the bottom either. So delete them away, like so. I end up with that shape hovering in space, effectively. Now, what I have got though is I've got my resolve solid feature here. So I'm going to bring that back, so show that. Now I've got that back, I can cut this pattern into it. So thickened cut this pattern into this surface, into this solid feature here. Now I don't want to go 10 mil, so we're going to 0.25, let's go 0.25 down into that face. Take there, like so. Okay, so now that we've got that pattern cut into the top of there, what I'm also going to do is I am going to change the color on this. So the same way as we did last time, I'm just going to select one face, appearance of the face. I'm going to change this to grey. So I want my color scales. In fact, I'm going to use that. Cancel that. I'm going to use that second grey down there. And I'm just going to repeat that. Just click on all the faces that I want to be that same color. Like so. Okay. Tick that. I'm happy with that, and I've got that grey colour on the top there. Okay, so now I said I'm not going to go through every single aspect of this because it's a repeat of the process, so I'm now going to skip ahead. I'll continue to create the aspects and the shapes on the outside of here, and once I've done that, you'll see what it looks like, and then you can skip ahead and see what I have done. You can just follow the same patterns or as I go through. I will stop to show you and record the bits where I'm doing bits that are slightly different. So I'll see you again in a second, I suppose. Okay, so I've used the surface process and the split line and then thicken cut to get to this point where we've got all of the sort of features onto it, like so. And we just have effectively the sort of two eye things that the BB8 face has got to put on. So one up here in the center and one down here at an angle. So that's what we're going to move on to for this little extra section. Just to give you a quick overview around what I've added to this. So we've added that orange cut through the top of there. We've added this pattern around the outside and this full pattern around the bottom here. So let's get on to doing the eye. So the first thing I'm going to do is move to the right plane. So I want to sketch on that. Sketch on there. Okay, and I'm going to go side on for this. Okay, so going from side on there, I'm going to go for a line, and I'm going to go for the center of this section here at an angle, like so. Now this is measured from the base, and it's going to be from there to there. I want it to be 30 high. Okay, which will give us exactly where we want our eye to come out or protrude. So from that then, I'm going to revolve a shape around this. So let's have a look at that then. The first thing I'm going to do, using a line tool, is just come out here and up across this section here, like so. Now I want that and that to be measurable. I'm going to pick up the point for me. Let's try that again. So if I know the distance from there to there, let's say that's so that's 3. I want this line to stick out at 1 mil further, sorry, 2 mil further than that point. So if that's 3, I want that to be 5. Okay, so the diameter of this then is going to be 20 mil diameter, so it needs to come out to 10 from the center. Okay, so that gives me the thickness of that eye at the top, like so. What I also want is a radius in there, but first of all, I'm going to come across slightly. Let's create that shape there, and now I want that angle between there and there to be 90 degrees. And I want that distance just to be 1 millimeter. And then I'm going to draw a circle from the center of there out to that point, like so. And I just want to connect this up to the edge of here. Going to give it to me. And again, from there to there, I want let's get the angle in from there to there. 180. That should be fine. Okay, so what I want now is to trim off the bottom of here. So trim tool, I'm just going to trim off the excess material that I don't want, which is this around here, leaving me with that shape there. And this should be able to be revolved around that. So go to features, revolve that shape around that line, tick there, and I've got the eye shape in the center here, like so. Once I've got that eye shape, I'm going to repeat the process to get the little one down here, but I want to get it at an angle. So let's go through that. I need to set up a pattern first to be able to create a plane at this angle here. So on the front plane, I'm going to create a sketch, a center line, and come from the bottom there up to the center top. That's going to be one line that I need. The other one, if I exit that, is going to be on this top here. I'm going to sketch on that top plane, the plane 1. Let's look straight down so I can see what I'm doing. And again, I'm going to get a center line, and I want to create a line that's 30-degree offset to this. So center line coming out here, doesn't matter where it connects, as long as I know it's a 30-degree offset to there, like so, and exit that. So the two lines that I'm interested in using here to create a plane is this vertical line here and this one at 30 degrees from the horizontal. So using my features, go to my plane, I'm going to create a plane that links between that line and that line, dropping it in there at 30 degrees. Tick there, and that'll put that plane in for me. I'm just going to drag that and extend it out of the side of the model so I can see what I'm doing. Now I don't need them sketches again, so I'm just going to hide them sketches. Okay, and I also am going to hide plane 1 and plane 2 so they're not in the way for this process. So I've got that first die there. I'm going to add a second one here. And again, this is going to come across from that point, and the center of this is going to be 15 high. So sketching of plane 4, let's go to the outer edge. I'm going to create a center line. And that center line is going to connect to there and come out here. Now, I want the height of this end from the bottom of here to be 15, like so. I am going to put a center line coming from the center up here, and I want to know the height from there to there. So if I just do a quick evaluate, measure that, and get the height from the bottom to there, which is a vertical height of 12.5 mil. So I know now that if that line is 12.5 mil high, then I can connect that to the end of it, like so. And that gives me my output here for that. I'm just going to drag this out a bit further. Okay. Now let's see if I can get a normal to plane view of that plane. Lovely. Okay, so on there, find the outer edge, and I'm going to go concentric to it. There we go. Coincident to it, sorry. Now, that's all connected up to that feature. So what I want to do now is create the eye shape in here. Now it's a bit smaller, this one. The outside is only 10 mil. So again, I'm going to come out. Along here. Now this actually steps in as we go. So I'm going to be creating sort of a step path for this to follow. Okay, let's try that again. Okay. Right, and then from there, I'm going to draw center line across until it is in line with this point here. So let's create a line coming out. (180°), and then center line going down until we hit that, like so. And then I'm just going to put a circle in here and connect it to the end of there. Okay, so let's put some sizes to this. So that is going to be 2.5. I want that then to be 0.5. 0.5, and then the circle sticking out at the end. Like so. Now it's not going to be fully defined because there's certain aspects of this, but you get the shape. It also wants to know the distance along here. Excuse me. From there to there, if I take that to 3, I can make sure that comes out 3.5. 0.5, and the same again here. 0.5. And then I'm going to trim away the bits I don't want again. So trim that, and just leaves me with that profile that I want there. I'm going to then revolve that again around that center line. And I will get the other eye shape. There we go. So I can zoom out now. Let's have a look at that. And we've got them 2 component shapes there. Okay, so other than that, there's just a little bit of detail to add into this face, again following that same process of surfaces. I'll do that, and then I will be showing you that finished off, and then I will be moving on to looking at how we can make these together. So I'll run through the rest of this and I'll show you it once it's finished, and then we'll move on to mating. Okay, so like we said earlier, I've just skipped ahead a little bit here, and I've just put in them finishing touches, so the profile around that section, the profile around here, and these cut-ins at the side here. I just used the same exact process as we've been doing on the surface, and then split lining the sketch onto the surface and thickening cut through that into the solid model. I've also added on at the back here these 2 antennas. All they are is 2 simple revolves straight up around a center line. Revolve them around to give you the 2 antennas. Now, this isn't quite finished. What we've still got on here is a base section at the bottom here. So we're going to add that in. Now, what this does is it's a section that the under part, or the main body, is going to sit in at a circular shape. So we're going to create that profile on the bottom of here. So if I just go to the right plane here, and I'm going to go to sketch on there, and I want to create something from the center. So let's get a center line and view straight onto there. Okay, so I'm going to draw a center line straight down here, like so, and that is going to be 5 milli coming down. Okay, so from there then, I'm going to draw a line out here, and then it cuts it at an angle to the end point there, and then back to the center here. So this is the shape I'm going to add in underneath. This size here is going to be 57, which, so let's get rid of that a sec. So that distance from there to there will be 57 across. And from there to there is going to be 75. So we're keeping that distance all the way across, the same distance as the bottom of the head. Okay, so once I've got that profile, I'm just going to revolve that around. So features, revolve, and rotate it around that center line, like so, giving me that angle. Okay, so we've got that. Now, from there, what I want to do is remove sort of the top of the sphere shape from underneath here, that this is going to sit nicely onto the surface of the body. So how we do that, I'm going to create a sphere, a circle the same size as the sphere. So again, let's go to do this on the right plane again, sketch, and I'm just going to draw a center line down from there. Now, the reason I'm doing it from this point here and not the bottom of here is because actually this is going to cut into this model so it can sit in it like a groove. So let's have a little look. So I'm going to make that there 70, like so. I'm going to draw a circle from there to there, like so. And I'm just going to add in another center line in the bottom, from the center of the circle down to the bottom there. Now what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to cut off half of this circle. Okay, and we'll see now that as long, because I've joined that up into there, we've got that circle cutting into the underside of there. And we'll have a look at the shape in a second. So let's trim away half of this. So we've got that half the shape of the body. Now from there, I'm going to features, and I'm going to go to a revolved cut. Okay, so I'm going to use that center line through there. And you can see just in the preview actually how that's the shape or size of the actual body itself. And we can look here how it's cutting into that upper section. So let's tick that and have a look. So now what we've got is that sort of dome shape in there. Okay, and that should sit perfectly onto the body of the main part of BB8. So first of all though, I want to finish this off by adding an appearance to this. So I've got my appearances across the top tabs here. I'm just going to come to the appearances. I'm going to right click on my white appearance. I'm going to edit that appearance there. And I'm just going to make sure faces are selected at the side there. And then I'm going to click on these bottom faces here to add that appearance to them so it's white like the rest. And tick there. Okay, so we've got our head of our BB8 completely finished off there. Now what I want to do is assemble this to the main body. So I'm going to go to File. I'm going to make assembly from part. So we've got the head. like so. Now I also have the main body that we finished off a while ago, so I've got that in here too. Let's drop the head in first. So I've got the head in there. Spin that around so you can see it from that side. And I also want to drop in, so insert component, I want to drop in the main body as well. So let's drop that in there as well. Okay, so we've got them two pieces. Now, to connect these together, I'm going to do this really simply. I'm going to introduce the temporary axis view, which will give me a temporary axis through the center of each of my spheres. So I've got one straight through here, one straight through there. I'm going to make them through them temporary axes. So that one and that one, and that'll give me that view, that make process through them two temporary axes there. Okay, now that isn't perfectly in position because even though it's made through that temporary axis, I should be able to still drag it up and down, which is not what I want. So I want to make it so that this bottom sphere here also connects to this top sphere here. And I'll move up and hold in place, like so. So we've now got, let's hide the temporary axes, our finished BB8. How cool is that? Now this is all just for a bit of fun, testing out SolidWorks, having a go with a few of the tools. Hopefully you've learned some stuff here. The idea of this is that we're using a few different processes to create things that you wouldn't normally use. For instance, the effectively engraving onto a sphere using creating the surfaces. So we're using a good mixture there of surface modeling and solid modeling. Hope you like the video. Hope you like the content that we're delivering at the moment. Please give us a big thumbs up, and we will be back soon with another video. So yeah, if you're not already subscribed, subscribe please, and we will see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye now. Okay, see you again in a second.